Imagine reading a book once and remembering almost everything for the rest of your life. Legend says that when a fire destroyed many of Isaac Newton's research papers, he stayed surprisingly calm because he supposedly remembered nearly everything he had written. Was Newton simply born with a superhuman memory, or did he follow a study system anyone can learn? The answer may change how you read forever. When people hear Isaac Newton's name, they usually think about one famous story. An apple falls from a tree. Many imagine Newton instantly shouting, "Eureka!" and discovering gravity. But that's not what happened. The falling apple didn't give Newton the answer. It gave him a question. Why did the apple fall downward instead of sideways or upward? That single question stayed with him for years. In fact, Newton didn't publish his complete theory of gravity until 21 years later, in 1687, in his revolutionary book, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, often called simply Principia. Great discoveries rarely happen in a single moment. They grow from years of deep thinking. Newton was never confined to a single subject. His shelves held books on astronomy, navigation, alchemy, and even occult philosophy. Every field was another way of understanding the same universe to him. Modern historians call this Janussian thinking, the ability to combine ideas that seem completely unrelated. Instead of staying inside one discipline, Newton searched for connections between them. Because history shows that the biggest breakthroughs often begin where different ideas meet. Newton's first memory trick was surprisingly simple. Instead of randomly folding page corners, he folded them so the pointed tip landed exactly beside the sentence or even the single word he wanted to remember. Today, we might use digital bookmarks or highlights for the same purpose. Newton used paper. His bookmarks were not reminders of pages. They were reminders of ideas. A small fold could mark the exact thought he wanted to return to later. Newton almost never read passively. The empty margins of his books became a second notebook. He questioned arguments, corrected mistakes, added calculations, and connected ideas that other readers might have overlooked. Sometimes he filled almost every blank space on a page with his own notes. For Newton, reading was not simply about absorbing information. It was about testing every idea against his own reasoning. Modern learning research supports this habit. When you actively process information instead of simply reading it, your brain creates stronger connections and builds more durable memories. Newton was not just reading the page. He was thinking directly onto it. Newton didn't stop after writing notes. He organized them. He created an alphabetical index, listing important topics and the page numbers where each idea appeared. Think of it as building a personal search engine, centuries before computers existed. Instead of searching through the entire book again, Newton could go directly to the idea he needed. Every topic had a place. Every page had a purpose. This simple system turned scattered notes into a structure he could navigate. Organization strengthened memory. Many people treated books like precious museum pieces. Newton did not. He saw books as working tools. He folded pages, covered them with notes, and marked important passages. A worn book did not bother him. For Newton, the paper itself had little value. What mattered was what the book could teach him. He was not trying to preserve books in perfect condition. He was trying to extract every useful piece of knowledge from them. But none of these techniques explain everything. Newton's greatest advantage was not a magical memory. It was extraordinary focus. Once a problem captured his attention, he could work on it for months, sometimes years. He constantly read. He solved equations. He tested ideas. He performed experiments. He rewrote difficult concepts in his own words. He was not simply memorizing facts, he was building connections between them. Modern neuroscience suggests that deep understanding, active recall, organization, and repeated thinking can strengthen the path from short-term memory toward long-term storage. That gives us a different picture of Newton. His advantage came from how intensely he used his mind. He focused on one problem. He returned to it repeatedly. He questioned it from different angles. Over time, understanding replaced memorization. Newton did not remember more because he had a magical brain. He remembered more because he used his brain differently. You probably don't need Newton's level of obsession, but you can borrow his methods. Read actively, write notes, connect ideas, organize what you learn, and most importantly, think deeply instead of reading quickly. Because knowledge isn't about how many pages you finish, it's about how much stays with you long after the book is closed.